review from SUAOKI. I picked up the SUAOKI S270. It's a portable generator, and it has a lot of features that that I really wanted, and we'll go through a bunch of them. Reasons you might want this: well, if you're into any type of camping, boating, if you're more on the hobbyist side and you have like RC cars, drones, RC anything, you probably are always looking for power to charge your things. You might not always have, power source available. So this is kind of like a little travel battery, much larger than a regular power bank. And it's got a couple cool things built in, like a built-in inverter that's going to give you 100 watts of AC power, has AC output on there. And it has 4 DC ports. It could be charged 3 different ways, through DC, through AC, and even solar panels that you would use a special cord for, like one of those DC to MC4 connections, and it comes with that. It has a light built in. It has 4 USB ports, and one of the ports is actually one of those QC ports, so it's a super fast charging. It's got a bunch of other things built in that I think a lot of people will find handy. So we'll take a look. Some of the cords that it comes with, like here's the AC cord. I write this on all my stuff. I just use like a white Sharpie because nothing ever really seems to label their power supplies anymore. But anyway, it comes with an AC cord that would plug right in here on the unit. So just like that, where it says DC in. You have that weighted to charge it. You can use the 12 volt, kind of the cigarette style, to charge it as well. And then you can also use one of these cords that you can hook up to a solar panel. I have a solar panel over here. So I'll show you another SUAOKI thing here that would open up, and you can put a connection in through this and charge the unit as well. On the top where the power button is, there's also 2 little handles so you can carry the thing. But you have the power button, and that'll tell you how much battery is charged. It lights up blue, and you can see the different levels. Right now it's fully charged. It came pretty much fully charged, but I put it on the charger anyway just to make sure, and it went for like another hour or so. Here's your light button. Super bright. And you got the strobing. DC input. There's a little fan in there where it's venting out. Over here, you have a couple different inputs for various DC items. And it actually gives you one of these guys here so you can plug in and run off a 12 volt power if that's the only connection you had for something. On the opposite side, you have actually all the USB ports, and you could tell which one is the quick charging port just because not only is it blue, but you can see it says it. And then you have the rest of the USB ports here. They're all 5 volt by 2.1 max, the amps. And we're going to load it up and see how much it can take, and we'll also plug something in on this side as well on the AC port and see how that does. In order to use that port, you do have to push this button. It'll turn blue, so you know you're getting power out of it. Alright, so I have this thing pretty hooked up right now, running all the USB ports, the AC. I'm not running any of the DC ports because under normal circumstances I probably wouldn't be, unless I had specific items for that. But right now you can see I got the AC on, and I'm running a pretty high-powered light. I have a USB charging a drone over here. I also have another USB charging this Bluetooth speaker. And I have a little reading right there. We could see what it's pumping out at with everything in there. So, not doing bad in terms of its output. It's pretty normal as that's charging. And then if we go back over here, we also have the actual gimbal that I'm using for the camera, and I wanted to get a reading on what it was doing for there. So it's doing about 1.6 amps, 5 volts, that's what they put out. And they're supposed to put out, right, 2.1, but they're never really going to hit that on the amps. I mean, most of the time this is what you're going to see. It's been holding pretty steady there with everything else drawing on it. And then in the quick charge port, I have an iPad that is charging. And that's pretty much everything on it right now. Haven't lost any battery dots yet. It's been about 10 minutes. Okay, I found one more item. I hooked up through the DC that 12-volt adapter, and I actually have a car vacuum that you would use. And let's see what that does. So that turns on without a problem. Let that hang out there for a second. Let's see what that does on the power drawers and everything else. No. Not affecting all the ports. They're all still charging. This might have fallen out a little. Here we go. It's still working good. Everything's on. Starting to lose, if you could see on here. It's been about, 15 minutes, and I have everything hooked up at once, and I'm starting to lose. I lost the little bars on just this one bar on each side. Check the iPad out. Still charging. And that's in the quick charge. As soon as I turned off that vacuum, I got the battery bars back. It's interesting. So I was probably putting a lot of draw on it, and it was making this fan really blast out some air. Let's try putting on the light, running the vacuum. That was a problem. So looks like that kind of made it overpowered it there. So it appears I drew too much off this thing right now, because it seems like everything has shut down except for maybe one port. Let's try this again. Let's power this back up and see. Now the AC port's not coming on. So we're gonna have to consult the manual. So according to the manual, it has a protection mode. So if the AC output is short-circuited, obviously I pulled too much of load, probably over 100 watts with everything. I have to shut it down and charge it and repress the AC button. So we're going to do that now and see if things come back alive. Alright, so I plugged it back in. I pushed the AC button, and you can even see it's back to charging. So everything's back alive now. So not bad. I mean, if you're gonna, it's probably not typical. You're gonna plug everything in there like I did, and try to run a vacuum, which you know is gonna suck a lot of juice as well, and put the lights on and everything. So pretty cool. I just wanted to see real quick too, like how many watts this vacuum cleaner was requiring. So this is 120. So that would make sense. Which is interesting is that I had the AC plugged in and the vacuum, and everything was fine until I turned on that light. So I know the peak on the AC is 150 watts, and I must have been just under it until I turned that, that high-powered light on that's right here. So as this charges up, my final thoughts are this is very useful. It's not that big. If you take it's an iPhone 7 case. It's not that much bigger on the top side than that, and yeah, it's a little bulky. It's like a little brick, and it has a little bit of weight to it. I mean, it's not something you're gonna carry around in a backpack probably. This is more for any adventures you're going on. If you're a hobbyist and you need power, like out in the field. Again, for RC stuff, for drones. Me personally, I'm gonna bring this on the boat. I think it's perfect, especially if I bring the solar panels too, in case I need some emergency charging. And there's a million uses for it. So you take it as that. Everything seems to work well. It can handle a lot of power, and I think most people will find it useful. Thanks for watching.